I'm excited to get the new PC. Because then I can, once I finish Worldless and Snake Pass, I can finally start Life of P as a stream game. Oh, so excited. Rome wasn't built in a day, it was burned down in one. Hey, if there was if Assassin's Creed Brotherhood trailer says something, has something to say, Rome was built in a day. You see that the moment the trailer starts, like Rome just fucking gets instantly constructed, and then Ezio walks through the crowd and is like, "Hey, I don't know how I know the city so well, given it has been built instantaneously, but I shall walk towards my enemy." So, you know what my enemy needs? You know what STO was thinking while I was walking towards his enemy? He needs a helpline, which is the SCP that we're reading next. If it's not a key die, I swear it's not. Would have been so wild if we had 3 keys in a row. That is like, would have been 3 keys in a row at the very beginning of the reading. That's would have been crazy. But we have a Euclid now. Alright, -1 is currently contained in a soundproofed cabinet equipped with a microphone and speaker in the function room of the... I don't want to misclick by accident. Hotel Manchester, United Kingdom. This lab is designated Site 381. As -1 remains immobile except in the case of Delta events, current containment efforts are focused on preventing these events. Site 381 should be staffed by a minimum of 4 agents to monitor -1 activity and prevent unauthorized access. These agents should receive a rudimentary training in traditional medicine as practiced in 17th century England. I just realized something. Come with me, guys. I just realized something. I forgot to check on my schedule. Edit schedule. Because it's probably still on vac. Yeah, it's still on. Nope. Never mind. I forgot it does take that off. Never mind. We're good. We're good. We're good. We're good. We're good. We're good. We're fine. These agents should receive a rudimentary training in traditional medicine as practiced. NLC document training for full details and provide with copies of Avicenna, the Canon of Medicine, John Gerald Herbal, or General History of Plantes, and Heinrich Kramer's Malus Maleficarum for Use Protocol 1752 Oracle. Rome was built like a top-down strategy game. Someone just paid coins and then it popped out of the ground. Yeah. Man, can you imagine if cities were done like that? Like somebody's like, I mean, technically, that is how it worked. You know, people, somebody has to pay a shit ton of money, and then people build it. But imagine if you just grind, farm enough coins, you'd be like, hey, can you just? I just want a whole like house right there. And you just pay them, and suddenly it's like in 5 seconds, it's like Lego game wise, it's like done. The -1 is to be continually monitored via the microphone located in its cabinets for activation events. Upon activation, identity of the -3 entity should be established if possible. If the entity is already known and cataloged, no further communication is necessary on the part of the responding agent. Though the behavior of the entity should be monitored and any unusual activity reported to the project director. If the -3 entity appears to be unknown, efforts should be made to determine its identity, and it should be cataloged and assigned a numerical sub-designation if possible. All new -3 entities should be reported to the project director in a weekly report. If the entity is identified as -3-prime protocol 1752-Oracle must be enacted immediately to prevent a Delta event. If a Delta event should occur, agents are to immediately contact the project director for the enaction of Protocol 1752 Covenant to lure -1 back into containment. The recordings made of -3 behavior are subject to ongoing analysis in the hope of determining the nature and present location of -2 for its future containment. So we have -1, -2, -3. We have 3 different parts of this SCP that makes it one. Details of Protocol, Oracle, and Covenant for study by new recruits to SCP-1752 may be found in document protocols. And yeah, of course there's like a whole new stuff here. Description. -1 is a static point in space from which vocal manifestation periodically, roughly every 1 to 5 hours, emerge. These manifestations are identical to sounds produced by non-anomalous means at the point of origin, and are therefore audible by anyone standing nearby and detectable by all types of audio equipment. Persons hearing the sounds produced by -1 will describe them as perfectly clear and understandable, as being spoken in the language and dialect which they are most comfortable. The voice quality of these manifestations is consistent across repeated hearings by the same person, though descriptions differ between listeners. It is universally described as neither obviously male nor female, and possessing no particular distinguishing features. -2 is the tentative designation given to the object, collection of objects, or object and associated action which enable a person to project sound through -1. Okay. Efforts are ongoing to determine its nature and location so that it may be contained. So it can be like different objects. I mean, it does say collection of objects, right? So. But then I wonder, is it something that's supposed to create sound, or is it something that's like that doesn't? Like, would the sound that the -1 could it come out of this water bottle? Like, do you open up the water bottle and suddenly you hear this like voice coming out of it? Good old like cartoon style when you like yell into a bottle or into a paper bag and you can hold the scream in it. -3 collectively refers to the entities that speak through -1. Currently, there are 14 distinctly identified -3 entities and further recorded manifestations which have not been firmly matched to any. Why did it? That was weird. Oh no, I remember now. Manifestations which have not been firmly matched to any -3 entity. As entities all speak with the same voice, identification may only be achieved through recognition of behavioral patterns. Communication with these entities is possible by projecting audio near -1. Both naturally produced sounds, such as human speech, and sound played through speakers have proved effective. I wasn't expecting it to be this abstract. Yeah, it's like, so like there's like a sound that you can understand, and it's clear. It sounds like a voice. Objects that the sound comes from, and then beings that use -1 to communicate. Notable -3 entities include -3D self-identification George Locksteed, who seems to treat -2 as some kind of recording device and spends 10 to 15 minutes describing the event of his day. Apparently lives in London in the late 19th century. Manifestations usually occur between 1900 hours and 2100 hours. Okay, so whatever the object is he's holding, he thinks it's a recording device. Probably isn't. Kind of like how in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Doppio thought that the frog was a phone. So I imagine that kind of stuff. To be honest, it would be hilarious if this is just a pure JoJo reference. Because that's what happens in JoJo's, right? Like, Doppio thinks he hears a voice, like he thinks like a frog is a phone. A voice is communicating through the frog to him. And yeah, and the only way for him to respond to that voice is through the frog. I'm just saying. Coincidence? I don't think so. It would be kind of funny if we go in the comment section and it was like, yeah, this is a purely, I based this on part 5. Of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. -3G, who regularly sings songs popular in 1960s, 70s, and 80s. Manifestation may be up to 20 minutes in length and usually occurs between I'm just gonna say 6:30 and 10 o'clock. I use military time as in, like, you know, once we're past 12, it's like 13 o'clock. I use that, but I don't like how it's written. I just like saying 13:30 or 13:21 or something like that. You know, like I prefer saying that than like 100 hours or something like that. It just feels weird to say for me. probably just like because I wasn't raised like that. 3K, who speaks to Dash 2 in a manner which indicates he believes it to reply to him despite no communication by Foundation personnel. 3 Prime, self-identification Demdike, believed by the Foundation to be the initial owner of Dash 2. It did expunged, capable of causing Delta events. In order to prevent these from occurring, Protocol Oracle should be enacted as soon as Dash 3 Prime is identified. And here we have Addendum A Level 4 clearance required. Incident 1752/1 2000 manifestation transcription. Prior to this point, Dash 1 was believed completely immobile, and a site had been constructed surrounding its location in Lancashire. Containment procedures involved the recording of all vocal manifestations, but restrictions were in place forbidding reply of any kind. 3 Prime, demons of the dark and deep, servants of the devil. It is I, Demdike. There's a pause of about 10 seconds. Sulking again, are you? Well, I have a surprise for you. I have been back to see Mr. Deer to complain about what he sold me. Another pause of about 10 seconds. He asked that I mention him to you by name. He said you would know him. I see that it is not enough to get you to respond to me, so I shall follow the instructions he gave me to adjust this so I may talk to someone else. If you will not provide me with the answers I seek, then perhaps another one will. 3 Prime stops speaking, and various quiet noises are audible as of items being moved around. Dash 3 Prime can be heard muttering, although no particular words are audible. This continues for approximately 1 minute and 20 seconds. This is your last chance. Will you tell me the medicines I need today? About 6 seconds. Fine. You will not hear from me again. I will seek knowledge where there is a greater quantity of it. Shortly following this manifestation, the first recorded Delta event occurred, and Dash 1 stopped producing any manifestations. It was considered neutralized until reports reached the Foundation 16 days later of a similar phenomenon which had spontaneously appeared in the redacted meeting house in the nearby city of during a monthly meeting of the Homeopathy Society. Containment was moved to this location and proceeded as before until another Delta event occurred on 2000 and Dash 1 shifted to a larger city of interrupting a meeting of the National Botanist Convention. It was at this point that an exception to the Foundation Policy 713 as anomalous object appeasement was received from O5 and Protocol Oracle was developed. As a contingency, a protocol to lure SCP-1752 back into containment if it should breach again was developed, codenamed Protocol Covenant. Since this time, it has been necessary to enact Protocol Covenant only once, with the appearance of an annual meeting of local traditional Chinese medicine practitioners, which caused the shift to current containment location as expected. There we go. So that's the helpline. A bunch of voices that that will reach towards you, potentially asking for help, and you can't really communicate back. And they just go, "Fine, I'll help myself." If you won't help me, I will. What's happening here? Interesting. Okay. Yeah, no, that it was a bit abstract, but I understand it. I can imagine just having like some guy on the telephone just. It's not even a telephone, it's just some random object yelling at it. It's like, "Help me out, man!" Or maybe it is a telephone on their side, but like it's coming out on our side through something weird. Like I said, I imagine somebody like opening up a water bottle and there's just a voice coming out of it being like, "Hey, I broke my leg. What am I supposed to do? And you're like, what am I supposed to do? How am I supposed to answer this?